So, the things we can do to stop ourselves from tilting is firstly, it's a good idea to recognize when, do we know what those behaviors are? Usually we do, right? You know what things cause you to tilt. And you have to build up some resilience, ideally, so that you tilt less often. So, some of the things you can do include like 3 deep breaths, is one of the easiest things you can do to just calm yourself down. Now, most of us, when we're just talking and interacting with people and just everyday life, I know I'm really lazy as well. We just use the top part of our lungs to breathe and to do things. But when we want to take 3 deep breaths, we really have to fill our lungs all the way down to the bottom, get maximum oxygen in here because our brain will use the oxygen and say, okay, now I'm feeling a bit calmer. So breathe in through your nose for, let's say, 4, out through your mouth for 6. Do that 3 times. And that's a really great calming strategy. It's also a really good one to do as if you're in a game that has lots of battles, lots of fights. um if you know there's a battle coming up, then just breathing calmly will help you steady your own nerves so that you can take on the fight and do better that way.
Oh, can I
I've
ask something real quick
Yeah, go ahead.
for the
Yeah, go ahead.
breathing? I
Hmm.
have you ever seen, Andrew Huberman on, YouTube?
Yeah, I love human
I
podcasts. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I've heard him talk about the physiological sigh. I'm assuming that would be along the
Yes.
same lines of that, like, the
Yeah.
double inhale and then, like,
Yeah,
the
so
slow
it's when you're
exhale.
when you're breathing in, breathing in through your nose, and then you breathe in a little bit more
Yeah, yeah,
on top of that,
to fill it up.
and that's meant to be really good as well. Correct, physiological
Yeah,
side to reset physiology. That's correct.
okay. I was just
Yeah,
curious,
big human fan.
dude, I love him. I just have so many notes
Yeah,
from all his podcasts. Okay,
yeah, yeah. I
sorry
do
to
too.
interrupt.
All right, okay. So then another thing that you need to be aware of is that, in comms, when stressful things are happening, often you get some people who are more hyped than others. And so, if they're starting to repeat things, that's often a sign of stress as well. So I try to stop double speak in comms, and uh, just generally being too hyped up can impact the stress levels of teammates. And so if you notice that your teammates are getting a little bit too hyped up, um, you can speak a little bit slower yourself, and that will encourage them to slow down as well. But speaking slower generally means that it feels less stressful. If you can imagine an emergency, like there's a fire and there's someone running around like a headless chook, saying, everybody get out, get out, get out. But they're not being really specific instructions. They're just making a lot of noise and actions, but not productive ones. Um, then that's not so useful. But if you've got someone saying, everyone take the stairs, come down this way, speaking more calmly, you're more likely to take that information in and do something useful with it. So just try to be speaking calmly. Speaking a little bit slower is usually quite helpful for nerves as well, um, and to stop yourself from tilting. Okay, let's imagine you already feel tilted. So at this point, your teammates have done something, and you think, oh, I'm really mad at them. um, if you've got time, you're already dead, and you've got time, you can walk to the bathroom and splash some water on your face, or between maps or whatever, um, between scrims, or go to the kitchen and refresh your water bottle, stand and stretch, pat the bet, one of those ones. Um, Anything that removes you from your current situation, just sitting in your chair looking at the screen is not moving yourself away from that situation. So making a physical geographical change from how you're sitting and looking right now is good to reset the brain, to calm yourself down a little bit. Looking away is another one. So if you can lean back in your chair and look over the top of the computer screen into the distance, it relaxes your eye muscles.
Yeah.
Again, it's resets you for regrouping your thoughts, coming back a bit calmer, and then sort of looking at the screen one more time. So it's all help from that point of view.
I was gonna
And the
s
other thing I want
oh,
to mention,
yeah.
go
I was
ahead.
gonna
You
say
just
that
you
was
go.
the other thing he talks about too with the physiological sigh is to, something about expanding your field of vision, because if you're always, like,
Mhm.
focusing narrow, like, it's causes
Right,
stress.
right.
That's, like, what you're saying there essentially, right?
Right, right. So when you're gaming, you're sitting a fixed distance
Yeah.
from the screen. Some of them are very very close,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
it's really tight for your muscles and your eyes, and they get tired. So looking beyond your computer screen is a good strategy just to momentarily relax your eyes. It doesn't take very long to do. It's just something really easy, but it's a good mental reset from that point of view too. The other thing to remember is, well, something I want to discourage on all my teams is for players to bang the desk, sigh when they're killed, just generally add negative energy to the comms. We don't want that. And so it's important to realize that you're responsible for your own energy that you bring, and what you bring definitely affects your teammates. Um, so you need to pay attention to what is my energy that I'm bringing. Is it helpful to my team or not? And really be conscious of that because it can impact performance in a significant way.